For the week of May 8th, 2022, it's summer and it's Mojo Weekly. I am John.
Too weird to live, too rare to die. It's Josh.
All right, summer boy, here's the news. We're going to kick it right off with Summer Game Fest 2022. So, man, we haven't done like one of these podcasts, it seems like in 3-4 weeks. I don't even know.
It's been a few. Yeah.
You got shit-faced drunk during one of them and just completely ruined the recording. So,
yeah. Man, it was pretty rough, man. It was pretty fucking rough for sure.
I know. I was embarrassed for you. But anyway, but we talked about, I think last time, or I don't know, whenever it was, we talked about E3 getting canceled wholesale, not even just the live event. We knew that was canceled, but the virtual event also canceled. Well, what is going to fill that gap, Josh? We've got a couple things. First up, Summer Game Fest 2022, hosted by Jeff Keighley and organized by Jeff Keighley, will take place on June 9th. And you'll be able to watch it on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere. Don't watch it on Facebook. Only old people do that. And you'll also even be able to watch it live in IMAX theaters.
What? Did you say IMAX theaters?
IMAX theaters.
God damn, I'll have to hit up the drive-in.
Yeah. So you can watch fucking what did they release, or they announced something last year that I was like, really? So you can watch that in IMAX, I guess. Anyway, the industry showcase will feature world premieres, of course, trailers, news, and updates. Last year, they showed gameplay from Elden Ring, the director's cut of Death Stranding, and Tiny Tina's Wonderland. So none of those things. It looks like you froze. I know what you're doing to me right now. I can tell. I know what you're doing. I know your game by now. None of those things were like world, shaking reveals or anything. But whatever. I don't mean to be cynical about this. But Jeff Keighley, fool me once, shame on me. Shame on you, The point is, I'm not going to get fooled again. I've watched enough of your events to know that I'm not expecting anything that's going to just blow my balls off.
Yeah, John's saying the Summer Games Festival.
Yeah,
who the fuck cares about the Summer Games Festival?
Yeah, it's a callback to Josh getting all shit-faced drunk.
So drunk.
Yeah. Anyway, on the other hand, there's going to be another event just a few days after that. Xbox and Bethesda have announced that their summer showcase will air on June 12th, so 3 days later. And this showcase will include upcoming games on Xbox and PC, as well as Game Pass. Maybe we'll see Starfield. Maybe we'll see the new everything's Elden now. Elder Scrolls. Maybe we'll see some more of Hellblade 2. Maybe we'll see some more of the Perfect Dark reboot. Who knows, man? Who knows what we're going to see? So that I think we'll probably see some big reveals. I hope so. They've bought like every studio on the goddamn planet, and I still have nothing to play on my Xbox. So I'm imagining that there's going to be something shown there that we're going to care about.
It's interesting how all these major development studios, and this goes all the way back to Rare, right?
Yeah.
Fuck Rare.
Yeah.
They were known for every 6 months to a year, a big blockbuster game, amazing things. Microsoft purchases them and puts the pause button down.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing with these guys? What,
I don't know.
What cameo elements of the future? Oh, what's that? The seafaring MMO pirate game that no one likes? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
I mean, I don't like that game. Nobody I know liked that game, but that is somehow a popular game. I don't get how or why. Sea of Thieves. Sorry, I've just looked out the window and my neighbor's walking out there shirtless. It's a sight to behold, my friend.
Ow!
Big hairy belly.
Camera.
Yes, hold on.
Hairy
grab
belly.
My camera.
Yeah, hairy belly. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm excited to see what they announce because I do, at least I'm hopeful that there's some great things coming.
I'm not.
And anybody who listens,
one of us.
Anybody who listens to me babble on endlessly about video games knows that my tastes tend to lie on the Japanese side of development. So that kind of explains why I don't get too fired up about Xbox related stuff, because it's a lot of Western studios. Anyway,
Right.
next up, speaking of Japanese developed stuff, Square, Naoki Yoshida has revealed, kind of, that Final Fantasy 16 is supposedly in its final stages.
Oh my.
I don't believe that for a second, because these games are in development for like 30 years, you know. But
quite a while.
But you know, again, trying to remain hopeful. He says it's nearing completion and is in the process of being polished and debugged. A new trailer is ready to go, but was held back by undisclosed factors. And yet, we're supposed to see a new trailer before the end of spring. And sun's out, guns out, Josh. It's summer as far as I'm concerned.
Word up. You know, the thing.
Everybody needs to watch the video so they could just see that little clip of Josh looking at the camera going, word up.
Word up.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Squeenix, in their defense. Squeenix. In their defense, I believe they had mentioned that Final Fantasy 16 was in development prior to Final Fantasy 15's release, which was quite some time ago, right? Like 2016.
Something like that. A few years ago.
It's been like 6-7 years. So come on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they just finally had a playable gameplay element trailer and everything a year ago. That doesn't mean they hadn't been in development for 5 or 6 years already. So
sure. Look at you being the voice of optimism instead of me.
That's what I do. It's turning over a new leaf since I got completely fucking tanked at MGC and couldn't string together a comprehensive sentence.
I believe
I still can't.
I believe you strung together the sentence "nobody fucking cares" quite a few times. That's technically a sentence.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Anyway,
I hope that's a reveal party at some point.
To recap, Final Fantasy 16 was announced in September of last year. It will be coming out on PlayStation and PC for now. And then finally, this is my Josh item of the week, River City Saga 3 Kingdoms for the PS4, Switch, and PC is coming out on July 21st for $30.
River City Saga?
River City Saga 3 Kingdoms.
Tell me more right now.
Coming right up. The River City cast of characters step onto the stage of the 3 Kingdoms to wreak havoc. This title takes the concept of the beloved downtown special River City historical drama game and crosses international lines to tell the tale of romance of the 3 Kingdoms. So Josh, fear not, the wacky and comedic action will still unfold as our hero Guan Yu, and you may recognize him as Kunio, tries to survive the tumultuous times of the late Han Dynasty. The rest of the cast makes appearances as generals, tacticians, and more, giving 3 Kingdoms a River City twist. Enjoy funny, action-packed take on famous historical events, from the Yellow Turban Rebellion to the Battle of the Red Cliffs.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, so, you know, it'll still have all the beat-em-up action it's known for, intricately connected areas to form a massive game world. Aside from battle, you can enjoy shopping in villages and cities and go sightseeing and explore every nook and cranny, they say.
Ooh, I'm liking this. This sounds great.
$30. I'll check it out.
$30. I'll
buy me a fucking River City game all day, all night.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely.
And that, my brother,
a wonderful beat-em-up series, my friend.
We'll be talking about that soon. That, my brother, is the news. All right, new releases time. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, which we did talk about last time you and I got together. It's like a prequel to the Eiyuden Chronicle game that is coming out, which is made like a successor kind of to the Suikoden series.
Oh, you said Eiyuden Chronicles. I thought you were talking about Aiden Chronicles on the N64, the sequel to our beloved Quest 64.
Brian's
not the
Quest.
same game?
Yeah. This is coming to Game Pass, I believe. You can pick it up right away on Game Pass, but starting on the Xbox and the PC. Salt and Sacrifice makes its way to the PlayStation consoles and PC. This War of Mine Final Cut comes to the next-gen consoles. Unpacking, which is already out. I love this. Every time I look at the screen, I'm like, look at this guy. Look at this fucking guy in the bucket hat.
This fucking guy.
This is a fucking going fishing. Anyway, Unpacking coming to the PlayStation consoles. You can already pick it up on the Switch. And then finally, Evil Dead, the game, coming to every console.
You know, if I were to make a game, not necessarily about fishing, but about cleaning fish, you know what I would call it?
What's that?
Fillet Station. Exclusively on the Xbox.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I like it. The
Thank
Fillet
you.
Station.
Yeah.
All
Fillet
right.
Station.
For more wacky quips, stay tuned for Dale and his retro recap.
Hey, MoJoWeekly listeners, this is Dale, and welcome back to this week's retro recap of the latest retro re-releases, remasters, and remakes. Credit goes to GSK from RetroNuts.com, StrictlyLimitedGames.com, and LimitedRunGames.com. You can find info to all this week's releases on the MoJoMenace.com forums. There's been no audio retro recap from the last 2 weeks, but you can find the text listings on the forums. Just two quick highlights. Authorized NES reissue for Battletoads and Double Dragon, and authorized Genesis reissue for the early first-person shooter Zero Tolerance. And yeah, those are on StrictlyLimitedGames.com and LimitedRunGames.com for $60 a piece. That said, let's get on to this week. The only physical release this week is Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space for Switch and PC. Now, this is a remaster of Season 2 of Telltale's episodic seasons of Sam & Max. They released on PC many years ago. And these uplifting jazz beats you are currently listening to are courtesy of this Sam & Max soundtrack. Coming in a few editions, $35 for the standard edition, which will only be available on Switch, $70 for the PC Collector's Edition, and $80 for the Switch Collector's Edition. And with all Limited Run Games Collector's Edition, it includes all kind of bonuses, like in this case, coins, stickers, art prints, and even more. For this week's digital release, the Arcade Archives release this week is 1988's Fighting Hawk from Taito. It is a vertical shmup out now for $8 for Switch and PS4. It follows the similar mechanics as seen in Toaplan's Flying Shark and Sky Shark shmups, but it is officially not part of that series of games. There are a couple notable homebrew releases this week, with Apotris being a new Game Boy Advance homebrew game by user Akazukos, and this version even has a 2-player link cable mode. You can find it on Akazuku's itch.io page. Fight Game 2 3000 collects several random SNK fighters and a character from Golden Axe the Duel in this oddity of a homebrew fighter for the Mega Drive and Genesis, and you can find it on the MangaNGAteam.com's website, or just the link in the MoJoMenace.com forums. For all this week's releases, it's a much quicker retro recap this week compared to last week's ginormous set of releases, which you can find on the MoJoMenace.com forums. And with that out of the way, back to you, John and Jayesh.
Man, you're in a good mood today. I love it.
It's good stuff.
I love it. You're all squirrely today. It's beautiful. Josh,
Squirrel.
It is time for the game spotlight. You had a suggestion where instead of maybe spotlighting one game, we would talk about our top 3 beat-em-ups of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you go first. I love the beat-em-up genre, always have, so I'm always happy to talk about it.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Many great beat 'em ups. And I was thinking about this. Now I'm going to talk about the best 3 beat 'em ups of all time in my head, or the top 3 right now that I'm loving playing. So I would tell you right now real quick. Oh shit, where's my post-it? Okay, there it is. Here's the obvious
You are
ones.
useless without your notes, aren't you?
I need my notes. Here's the obvious ones. Streets of Rage 2, River City Ransom, Double Dragon 2 on the NES. Those are my 3 favorites of all time. Period.
Yeah.
Bloop, 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 bloop. That's it. I can go back to those at any time, any day. But here's the top 3 that I've been playing right now that I absolutely love.
Okay.
Now, the first one that I'll mention here is one that stands... are we going to go back and forth? Like, I'll mention one, then you mention one, and then we both unveil our number ones?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So here's one that I've been playing for a while, for a couple of years now. It's arcade only. As far as I know, the only way to play it at home is on emulation. There's never been a home release of it. And that is Konami's weirdly underground classic, Violent Storm.
I don't know that I know that one.
Dude, it is hilarious. And some of the stages in it, it's so over the top, so ridiculous. You're picking up cars, you're smashing people with it. Some of the stages actually have music, background music that have vocals and lyrics in them. And they're hilarious. English 90s rap songs. My God.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's some of my favorite stuff. The game plays whatever. The game overall is it's decent, but it's the fucking music, man. Ooh, is it good. Violent Storm, you got to check it out.
Okay. My number 3, I kind of went with all time, but this list is, I came up with it in the last 20 minutes and, it could change. It could change. Number 3, you mentioned it, Double Dragon 2 on the NES. I adore that game. I played the hell out of that game. That and the original, obviously, but Double Dragon 2 was like perfection to me. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I don't know that that series has ever recaptured the magic of Double Dragon 2.
No, and the weird thing is I remember a few years ago they tried to come out with Double Dragon 4, which is weird because we already had a Double Dragon 4. But they come out with a Double Dragon 4 that had somewhat the sprites from Double Dragon 2. But man, was it not good. It was like just boring, straightforward, beat 'em up. Meh. It was just so blah.
Yeah.
And I was ultimately disappointed with it. Double Dragon Neon, I think it is.
Yep.
That's pretty damn good. That's a good one. But Double Dragon 2 on the NES is still my favorite of all of them.
All right. You're up next.
I want to go with one that I've been playing recently that actually just came out in the last year. And we used to make jokes about it on the podcast. We call it Paprium H. This game, I played through it on a stream. I played through it on hard mode and medium mode. I've never played it through it on easy yet.
Yeah.
It is maybe the best Sega Genesis beat 'em up ever made.
Shut up now.
No, it's really good. The replay value is unmatched because there are multiple branching paths. There are characters you can unlock. There are even background musics and even graphical differences that you can unlock to make it look more like a Neo Geo game or make it sound like a Sega CD game. Like, it's pretty fucking good, dude. Like, this game is way beyond anything we've ever seen before on the Genesis.
You're saying it's better than Streets of Rage 2.
Okay. So I've been playing Streets of Rage 2 for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
This I've been playing for 1 year. So 30 years from now, will I say that? Probably not. But this is incredible, and it must be played. Eventually, this will be coming out on all consoles. I believe they're doing a Kickstarter for a digital release on all the new consoles.
Yeah.
It's going to be something you're going to want to play, for sure.
All right.
But trying it out on original Genesis hardware, it's amazing what they were able to do with it. Amazing. Dude, this game is 80 meg for a Genesis cartridge.
All right.
It plays and feels like a Neo Geo game in stereo. So, dude, it's incredible.
The opinions expressed by Josh on this podcast do not necessarily represent the opinions of Mojo Menace or MoJoMenace.com.
Stop. Anybody that's played the game knows it's amazing.
All right. I haven't played it yet, so I'm just saying. I mean, Streets of Rage 2 is a huge mountain to climb.
It is. I agree. I 100% agree. And I don't know if, like I said, 30 years from now, when we're talking about Streets of Rage 2 being the best beat 'em up of all time on the Sega Genesis, it probably will still be number 1. But
yeah,
this is some heavy competition for real.
All right,
real.
Okay. Speaking of Streets of Rage, I'm going Streets of Rage 4. I love it. I adore it.
Wow.
They nailed it. They stuck the landing so hard.
Yep.
I kind of like it more than the original series. Just gonna say,
wow.
I think 4 is the best, and 2 comes immediately after 4. I love it so much.
Okay.
I will buy anything those guys make now. Like after the Monster Boy or Wonder Boy or whatever, and then this, and now they're doing the Turtles thing. Like I'll buy whatever those guys are selling. I don't care. They nailed it. Yeah. Yep. So that's it. Oh, go ahead.
I love playing Streets of Rage 4. It was actually one of the first games that I ever played on a PlayStation Network with friends. I think that's really fun. Great game. But speaking of that new Ninja Turtles game that's coming out, hopefully later this year, man, that is going to be something that we may both have to pop into our top favorite beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
I'm going with what I would consider my favorite of all time still, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It is the most fun beat 'em up I've ever played.
Yep. I can't argue.
I wouldn't say by a lot, but it is. It's so fun. It's just like one of those things where it's like, what do you want to do? I don't know. Anybody want to play Turtles 4? It's like, boom. Immediately fun. Just crazy. We're laughing. We're joking. We're goofing around. By the way, you'll notice that I did not mention a Battletoads game in my top 3 beat 'em ups because Battletoads is not a fucking beat 'em up. There you go.
Okay. I was going to say it because it's trash, but
it's not. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful game. It's a wonderful, beautiful game, but it's just not a beat 'em up. It's multi-genre. It's like Earthworm Jim. What is Earthworm Jim? A shoot 'em up? No.
Also trash.
A running gun? Oh,
I'm joking. I'm joking mostly. I just don't like that game. It's not for me. Yeah, I know. I gave you a small heart attack there. My number one, Josh. My number one.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is a little left turn. It's Yakuza 0.
Oh, okay.
It's beat 'em up.
Really?
But it's not like,
beat 'em up?
Yep, it's not the traditional, side scrolling. It's 3D and it's just an ass kicking good time. It's got all the story and the open world business, but it takes place like in economy bubble Japan of the late 80s. So every time you beat the piss out of somebody, just money goes flying out of them and you're collecting like millions and millions of yen. The story's wacky. Awesome. There's all sorts of great side quests to it, but really like the fighting action is perfect. It's what I always wanted in like a 3D beat 'em up. It's the first Yakuza game I ever played. I started late. So I went from 0 when that came out, and I've been playing Yakuza games through the series ever since. But I still feel like it is the most kind of perfect out of all of them that I've played. It's the one that has captivated me the most. I love them mostly all. Some of them are kind of, a little questionable, but Yakuza 0 is fucking unbelievable. I love it.
That's super cool. Oh, I had no idea that was like a beat 'em up. I always assumed that the Yakuza games were more similar to like Grand Theft Auto / Shenmue or something, but that one is kind of beat 'em up.
It does take. There are similarities in that it's 3D and it's open world and all that stuff, and you run around a city. The open world aspect is fairly limited because you run around like this particular section generally of Tokyo. It's Kamurocho. It's a small kind of subset, and you go around there, and around every corner there's a gang of goons just waiting to get their fucking heads caved in. And you just beat the piss out of them, and it's awesome. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, cool, you should play Yakuza 0, man. Start there.
I'm down, try it.
And it's usually on sale for well under $20. You can get it for like $10-15 oftentimes.
Physical or
either. Yeah, you can definitely pick up a used copy for $10. Those games are cheap as shit these days.
I'll get on it, and then I'll let you know what my thoughts are.
I will say Yakuza 0 especially starts out with a lot of story, like a ton of story. At first, it's like, holy shit, is this a visual novel or a fucking action game? But once you get past that, it's just all ass kicking all the time. So anyway, I'll recommend Yakuza to anybody who will listen.
Okay.
All right. And with that, Josh, it is time for the last question. Somewhere here it is. Worst beat 'em up you've ever played?
Oh, Golden Axe on the PC Engine. God damn, was I disappointed in that.
Yeah, it's pretty
just
bad.
Unbelievable. Like, just what a sack of shit. Who the fuck developed that? I can't even believe it. That's unbelievable. I mean, that's a port of an amazing arcade game that was ported pretty fantastically to the Genesis. Every classics edition that you would see is the Genesis or the arcade editions, and they're both fun and they're both fine. And then it's like NEC scores. They're gonna fucking bring Golden Axe over to the PC Engine in Japan, and it comes out. And it's not a cartridge game. It's not on a Hue card. It's on a CD. It's like, what? We're gonna get Golden Axe on CD, and it comes out like a flaming fucking turd. And it was junk. It's not fun. It is poop. It's poop city.
Poop city. I don't know that I have an answer for that because, back when we were kids, every other game was a beat 'em up, and so many of them were garbage, just like absolute trash.
Yeah. And there's a bunch.
And there's so many of them that I can't really pick the worst one.
There's some honorable mentions though. There's like Target Renegade on the NES was rotten.
Yeah.
What a fucking garbage game.
Yeah. But you're just so damn many. I don't know, man. I don't.
It's got a rockin' soundtrack. Timothy Fallon did the music for Target Renegade, and that's a good soundtrack.
All right. So, listeners, you can send us your choices for worst. Answer the question for me. What's the worst beat 'em up you've ever played? Send it to us at mailbag@mojomenace.com. Send us an email. Tell us what it is. We'll read it next time. Or just comment in if you're watching this on YouTube. But that's it for us this week. If you want more of our stuff, you go to mojomenace.com, where you can find links to our Discord. On our Discord, you can tell us. Our forums. On our forums, you can tell us, and you can hang out with Dale. You guys and Dale can hang out, because that's kind of what happens there. And then also our merch store, where you can buy all sorts of beat 'em up t-shirts. You want a Double Dragon shirt? We got one. Huh? We got one. You want a Yakuza shirt? We got one. We got that. So anyway, do all that. YouTube.com/MojoMenace is where you might be watching this right now. Twitch.tv/MojoMenace is where we live stream all sorts of bullshit. And then the social medias, you can find us at Mojo Menace. Josh, where can they find you?
Well, if you'd like to continue the conversation with me, don't forget to smash the like button below on YouTube videos, because that's what all the cool kids are saying. But also, you can follow me on the Twitterverse at _Joshua Turbo. Don't forget the underscore, as it is the most important underscore in all of the internet.
And that's it for us. We will talk to you next week. Bye.
Eat the tacos. Come eat the tacos. Eat the tacos. Come eat them up. Eat the tacos. Come eat the tacos. Eat the tacos. Why don't you eat them up? Eat the tacos. Come on, eat the tacos. Eat the tacos. Eat them up. Eat them up. Eat the tacos. Come eat them. Eat them up. Maybe? You go ahead. I don't care. I'll eat them all. I didn't need to share them with you. Yeah. You know, I see them myself. Good.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right. Bye.